Hey everybody, this is Jason with OTPG on the Play Games, and we're going to bring you the recap of the finale with some gameplay of the final match between Ryne Martin's Green Han, the old Han, doing some of that Lucky 7 action, and William Hannon's Sabine ECL. William's been on that Sabine ECL action since set 1, so it doesn't surprise me. He's still there, and he's doing really great with that deck. Both of those players, by the way, are out of the Myrtle Beach area. Myrtle Beach Games being their home shop. William Hannon being one of the shop owners' son, kind of manager, wears a bunch of hats there. So really glad to see one of the participating shops and one of the organizers of the Hyperdrive series being part of the finale at Zenergy Gamers. So that was a really refreshing thing to see someone outside of the Charleston area come away with the win there. That was really great. And seeing Ryne doing so well also is really great. I've been waiting to see Ryne play. It's very few times I've had a chance to play against him in competitive play, or at least sanctioned play. And whenever you get a chance to play against that guy, you just learn something. It's just really great. Also, we were asked to kind of delay the release of this information by William because him and Maclunky Gamers, or Maclunky Gaming, they had an event going on with, I think it's called Card Shack, that following weekend. So he wanted to kind of keep that deck list that he was playing a little bit on the down low. So out of respect to Maclunky Gaming and William, we decided to delay the release of this information. And so now that has all passed, and we're also going to take a look at the deck that he top 8'd in that event. It was a 2K event, so not a bad takeaway. I'm sure he walked away with a good little chunk of change coming out in that top 8. And also, I believe it was a 67-man event. So they did 7 rounds of Swiss, and he still made top 8. So that shows the strength of Sabine is still there. I also believe that this tournament is going to show us a little bit of the insight of what the meta really looks like versus that Milan sector event. I want to talk a little bit about this perceived Jango threat that's out there. And maybe why we saw so many Jangos in the Milan sector event versus some of the events that have followed since, and that maybe Jango's not as big a threat, or we don't have to worry about the big bad boogeyman coming back in the form of a Fett. But anyway, maybe it is true. Maybe Jango Fett's just too good. But there was something that was going on with the sector event that some people may not be calculating in when they're looking at those results. And I want to kind of shed a little light on that. And we'll do that towards the end of the video. But with that said, I got a brand new montage. I'm going to share that with you, and I'll see you right on the other side of it. We're back, and we are going to go into taking a look at our finalist decks that were part of our Hyperdrive event series that we had this weekend at, March the 23rd at Zenergy Gamers. And you'll see our final 2 decks. One was piloted by William Hannon with Sabine ECL. He won the event, first place. And second was Ryne Martin. What's kind of funny is they rode together from Myrtle Beach, so it was kind of an inter-car battle of sorts at the final table there. They both came from Myrtle Beach Games, as I said earlier, and so that was really cool to see 2 players from the Myrtle Beach Game Shop come down and kind of show us how it's done. The event was hosted by Zenergy Gamers. Thank you, Zenergy Gamers, for hosting the finale. It was really awesome. We had a great time there. And these 2 decks we're going to take a closer look at in the next couple of slides that I'm about to put up in front of us. We're going to take first a closer look at Ryan's list. Ryan's list is very interesting. You'll see there are several really, really awesome choices that he has made. It is, first of all, it's a 5-aspect deck. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-aspect deck. The 1 Cad Bane puts the villainy aspect into the main deck. He has green, blue with Luke Skywalker, yellow, and red, also with the hot DL-44 blaster, even though it does get cheated out with yellow. But that does make this 5 aspects with the heroic aspect as well. This deck is absolutely just gunning with cool stuff. There's lots of Sentinel. There is the blue leader for plenty of ambush. You've got your Millennium Falcon. You've got your new Han Solo that is a pilot, so goes really well with the Millennium Falcon. You've definitely got your Tech DJ combo in there. A couple of commandeers. He was ready to take away those Jango Fett war juggernauts. He had the U-Wing reinforcements going for his Lucky 7s. You can see in the use of the Tentative 7, the Luke Skywalker, the Han Solo, the Enfys Nest, and the Cad Bane, that he was really had a nice little Lucky 7 package there, all having tremendous effects on the board state. Then he also elected to go with the 9-cost new Home 1, which was yet another ambush unit, and against decks like Jango Fett, it had the ability to come out really cheap and really early. So this deck was just an amazing piece to see someone put together. Not to mention the ability to manipulate his opponent's hand with the Spark of the Rebellions. And then out of the sideboard, one of the cards that really intrigued me was the One of Lex, which does so much work against Jango Fett. They triple dark raid, they get the reduced cost on their unit, and then Ryan gets to choose to exhaust it, so it doesn't get to run across the board and do damage. So what an amazing choice of cards there. He does he uses the Luke Skywalker pilot. You really can't go wrong with that. Even if they destroy the unit, you get the 2/3 body on the ground that can come in. The use of the modded cohorts for that ambush in the raid 2, really great 4-drop in the deck. He's got his resupplies to ramp up. Plus, Old Han has his ability to turn any card in your hand into a resource for a little while and kind of get up there. Just amazing. Plus, you got your Waylay to disrupt your opponent's hand, your opponent's plays, and kind of set them back. It's almost like a time walk for on a turn 2 play. And then one card that really, I just watched him crush people turn after turn game after game after game, and that was the use of Jamming Communications. Talk about a card that will take Jango off its game. Do a turn 1 Jamming Communications and rip the triple dark raid out of their hand. Do a turn 3 Jamming Communications while you have the initiative and take it out of their hand. And their play just falls apart. So another great card that he chose to play that you just don't see. And that's what I love about the way this guy puts together his decks. And you can see a lot of similarities the way he builds his decks. That Matt Rohauer, one of our other great players that kind of makes his own decks, in the fact that there's a lot of 2-ofs and 1-ofs. He kind of jams a lot of cards into a deck, and this deck has more than 50 cards. I think I counted 52 cards. So again, Ryan, great showing, way to take the second place. Then we're going to move over to Williams' Sabine deck, and that is going to be the Sabine ECL. He is still rocking it, but I will say that Sabine has had the most changes to the deck with set 4 than it has seen, I think, even including the Wrecker and Poe Dameron from set 3. In this deck, he has gone with the 2 Sabine masterpieces. He's got the Luke Skywalker pilot. He's gone with the Phoenix X-Wings, or A-Wings, excuse me. He also has the Blue Leaders. So all of those are coming out of the new set. Those are great cards in this deck that he's put together. He's got another Blue Leader sitting in the sideboard. He's got a couple of Chewbacca's sitting in the sideboard. And then one card that just screams, gets you in a Han matchup is the Cham. Cham is just, seems to be so much better than the use of a scanning officer. Just get you ahead. And if they do steal your resource, you just throw that down and get it back, you know, off the top of your deck. Plus, you get the advantage of a 5/4 body versus a 2/3. So really, really good there. And it's a card that you can use ECL on and put it out and run across the table and smash something. So after that, it's kind of a traditional Sabine list. Very low to the ground. Lots of ground units in this list. Enough ground units to where he stayed with the Dark Saber. But you will notice that he did decide to go ahead and put the 3rd upgrade in the sideboard. So he did come down on upgrades from other versions that we have seen of decks of his. He was in another final table against Noah in the very first Hyperdrive event that we did at Myrtle Beach Games. So there was a little bit of a change there. He did stay with the 3 Cassian Andors. I mean, how can you go wrong with a unit that can ready up right away? And it always sneaks in, and it's great against control decks, which we're really not seeing a whole lot right now in the meta when it comes from control. But I got a feeling over the course of the next couple of weeks, we're going to kind of start seeing that. So with that said, we're going to take a look at the final match. All 3 games we have recorded. We're going to bring those to you now.
All right, go ahead. I'm going to Han action.
Good luck, Jim.
So I think the problem that I have with this game is there's no way to shuffle the decks. Yeah, but it's not like, it's not, well, I mean, I can't, let's play 4 mana 2/3 base. This is the one game where they give us a tutor and no one plays it. Well, I don't know, man. It's not good right now. It's good in I need to grab more. That's my thing. I have these for 2.
I'm sorry.
Bring out Han.
Some people told me to answer cover the kids and stuff like that. We had 11.
Get a record in there? No? I got it.
And those 2 were from Myrtle Beach. So they're the first ones that some Charleston.
Nice. That's cool.
So overall, that's pretty awesome.
5 resources.
That's
7, buddy.
Night pack.
On turn.
That was pretty dope.
I'm playing after that.
So I think overall, pretty cool.
I probably should take out the figures.
Yeah, a little koozie of the
Didn't have the big
guy.
stuff.
The Boba Fett helmet coming down. That's going to be
Oh, yeah, because that's fine.
No, I know. I would have to trade. Just take one big.
try to figure out how to do my first line.
Yeah.
And then Night Bot.
I draw one more of these cards. I'm going to choose my yes, it's the third one.
That are posting for a short period of time. And then during that period of time, but to randomize it. So for our 50, we're in celebration
Quarter base.
probably open the box.
Ready all of this too. I'm at 12.
But if not, that'd be our trying to get a little bit more influence on the state. Next big goal. There's most of a lot of stuff out there. We've had a very interesting board as well. One of our players you could have. There's an extra pack I have back for you. Sure.
I mean, Ewing's going to come here.
I wanted to make sure with you before.
I could have Ewing, buddy. I would have done it last turn.
Oh shit, yeah. I forgot.
Doesn't play anything.
You've already announced it.
Jesus fuck.
Plus, I also came
The least interesting game.
This is fucking terrible. I keep drawing the same card over and over again.
who donated one of the prizes to Matt. This shows appreciation and being part of the community.
Don't put one of them back in the game.
I'm so over this game. Start 3 to base. Deal 2.
That's the back and forth of what we're doing.
Yeah, 3 on your 3 back on that, yeah.
It's Poe! Well, right now it's not. I'll take that.
What do you got right now? 19?
19, yeah. 20. It's been a real awkward,
Dude, if I could...
real awkward sequence.
I'm about to show you all my draws this game. This has been a time.
I mean, I'd like to tell you I'm doing great, but I'm about to get cracked by Poe.
That's not good.
And there's nothing I can fucking do about it. I had enough resources to fucking waylay out of fucking, what you call it.
All the healing? Alright, let's see what you got.
I will ink this nest to bounce this guy.
Okay. I'll hit for 6. I will... How many cards in hand?
2.
2 cards in hand. Well, first things first, we're going to discard to deal 2. We're going to...
It's an on-attack trigger sequence properly.
Alright, fine. I'll discard 2. I'll have you discard a card from hand. Deal 2. And then 6 times. Okay.
I will claim initiative, because I can't get hit by that motherfucker again. Can't let him swing again, so.
Yeah. I'll pass. I need to make a deck though. I'm drawing the same cards over and over again.
Those are some gorgeous masterpieces, though.
I mean, I got the serialized blue leader in the deck.
You got the 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can get a
Crap.
something to kill Poe. And
Capture
also
Poe.
get health, and then
Do it all.
and then I don't think that there's anything I can get.
I mean, you can capture Poe.
I can't. I'll get the next one.
So, like, I drew every single copy of every single fucking same 3-drop
Yeah,
card.
not having a turn thing to play on like a 7-drop on the Han turn is rough.
Were you saving it for something? Like,
No, I didn't have anything.
like in general? Oh.
I had plays the first couple turns, and then
I need to definitely fix this.
So group them all together and then shuffle.
I don't know what happens. It's just.
I don't really know what I have to.
Oh, hold on. I need to actually sideboard against you. I need my chance.
Because you don't care about that 6 card, and you're just going to draw it.
Like in some Kazuda?
It's just Kylo in space.
Yeah.
It's not anything special. I know people are saying, like, oh, it's going to be meta. It's not. Sadly, I wish he was going to be more. Sure, but.
It's currently at the fringes.
Yeah, he's like tier 2, potentially, maybe even like bottom end of tier 2.
So yeah, so with all this stuff, so we run takedown.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
I feel like I should put Chewies in.
So that over scanning offers, huh?
I don't run scanning offset at all.
Yeah, all right.
That's much better than Scanning Officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hits every time, no matter what.
This is true.
If you play it right, you know what I mean? You just wait for
I mean,
Han.
against Han, yeah, Han uses the ability.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
you
gonna
just-
go ahead and grant and mine stays.
Right. Yeah. Scanning Officer, I mean, it's okay, but I'm not playing enough Smuggle to make it worth it for the most part.
Yeah, yellow. is kind of-
He's also a 5/4, whereas Scanning Officer 2/3. I mean, she's cheaper.
That's a great point. Love it. See, I learn something every time I talk to better players.
Yeah, he's good.
Why do you think I keep trying to ask advice from you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have any
And he's-
advice
and
to
he's a
give.
rebel.
Yeah, rebel, definitely.
Every time I ask advice, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not that good.
Yeah,
He
like,
does say that a lot.
I don't think I'm as good as I could be.
Every good player thinks that.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I'm at the mulligan because I feel like I want a better turn 1.
You got a turn 1, so.
Yeah. That's the main thing. It's like, I wanted a better turn 2. A better turn 2.
Something, you know? What the fuck is going on?
That's Larry. Is this Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, Andrew just swapped it up.
It looks like Ratchet and Clank.
I didn't play Ratchet and Clank, so I don't know.
Oh, I love Ratchet and Clank.
It was a real awkward game.
Yeah, it was not great. But like literally, I drew all 3 Cassians in the first two turns. Then I drew all 3. You go into the one at a time. Yeah,
Right, I hear you.
resources,
Yeah, so
but,
you
like,
resource them, save them for later. Yeah.
I did draw 3 Sundari Peacekeepers after that, though.
That's
That's
really
way
good.
better. That's way better. I messed up on my 4 resource turn. I should have put my Battlefield Marine down and kept up my space units.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Not good. Is this payback for you stomping over last game?
Maybe. I don't know why I left this in against you. I should check that out. Alright, you ready to party?
Yep, you got initiative.
Yeah, what's your turn 1?
It is actually not bad.
Yeah.
Rip. Good.
event?
Good go. I'll take a shit.
Does that say event or non-event?
No, anything.
That's
Take a
Spark
card.
is anything.
Any
Jam
card.
is event. The new one.
Oh, that's Spark.
Alright. I don't know what the hell I just said.
Slow down!
God damn it. Alright. This
We're already in a flip turn. You haven't got anything on the board. That's crazy.
I mean, that's how it goes against Cad. That's why I hate the Cad
Yep.
matchup. Alright, you ready?
Yeah, let's party.
Ping.
Hey, you can do that.
I should have been pinging the whole time.
I will, you wouldn't have initiative though. Is that what you want?
No, because I feel like at this point right
I
now,
would have done things differently.
you're at five. You have 5 resources right now, and now what comes out for 5? That ambushing? Oh, Syndicate Lackey.
If I were running it.
Alright, let's put it back in there.
Han Solo, new unit.
He does, but he gets for 4 though. So
Lackey is for 4, right?
Lackey gets for 5.
Oh,
Lackey's
it's a 5-4. That's right.
We're gonna Sabine.
I'll kill Sabine.
Oh yeah, grab a back up.
Smashing. All right, I'm starting to get a better appreciation for the blue leader.
This is ground.
I'm so used to like ground being over here.
I mean, if you were over here, it would be.
You sat on the wrong side of the table, man.
Yeah, that's not you, dude.
Well, your stuff is already there. You already claimed that side.
That's fair. You ready?
Yep.
Ready for 2.
I'll discard card. I'm gonna ECL out Poe. I'm going to discard 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna pop one of those, deal 2 damage to it, so I'm just gonna not get any damage, and then I'm gonna discard your last card again.
Yeah, Poe busted.
Poe very good. Alright, got the Han.
You do have the Han. Bring out Han.
I'm gonna swing into Han. Discard this, discard the card from his hand. So I'll take 4 back.
Busted again.
But now he has his tick.
That's where the gas comes out. You're gonna give him a chance to cast it.
Twin Sons. I'm building Twin Sons deck that's so front side and then you just put Palpatine.
No. Alright, go ahead.
No, you just now you have access to 4 colors or 1, 2, 5 colors.
3 to base, deal 2. Alright, you took 3 back there. I'll kill it.
And also down.
I'll ping. I think I'm taking too much time out.
Ready? Kill him non-stop.
Just setting them back 2
No, it's just a 2-drop. I want as many 2-drop, but I did in white percent as possible.
Gross.
It's a 3-2, so I can trade something.
I hate people
You know what I'm saying? So this was creating the sky, this was creating the ground. There's just natural.
Probably should.
There weren't a lot of people. So, like, we have like
There's some,
we will if we have to.
You good?
Yep.
The ideal plan is
7 to your face, bounce that.
turn 2 to what's that? So if we can play, if we don't play, we get to play turn 2. Yeah. How many percent outside?
Oh, inside.
Yeah. So when you, you go on that. Just you're getting.
Base for 7 or so.
3 cards. If we go down a card, we go down a card. Because I'm a gloss.
We'll kill that.
And then we attack with this again.
Probably shouldn't have just kept trading my hands.
I mean, to be fair, it was hard not to, though. If you didn't do that, I would have had a Falcon way earlier. I would have had...
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't have been discarding like extra. Like, hey, I don't need to do 2 damage to the base.
Yeah. You did in that game.
I did it once, the first time.
Did you?
Oh no.
That was last game.
Okay.
I won you the game. So you were fine. Pretty sure it was last game.
I probably should have targeted the base at some point though, because like I think I targeted Han, and then you took the initiative.
You killed Han.
I had to kill Han.
Yes, you did. What's up? 1-1. You're good. I mean, I imagine you could get one.
I have to remember that I'm a moron and play better on my foot.
I mean, today was a fruitful day.
I made a
for
mistake.
all of us,
I should have
except
flipped
for
Sabine
whoever
first. I should have. Why does it matter? We split the prize.
So you guys
I
just
should have
play
flipped
for
first. Yeah, playing for content, not my content.
Not even his content.
Yeah. Why don't you put up your card? Why don't you put your thing up above, like right on in front of the lens?
I don't need to show more Sabine Han matchups on my channel.
I mean, this is set 4, you know.
It's set 4 and it's a top 4.
Yeah.
It's a top 4. You said that the CAD game was good.
It was the game 3 was
fucking tense.
insane because like
He's sitting there. I can see him. He's sitting there doing this.
Yeah, I can see his hand shaking a little bit. Like he's like,
Yeah,
oh no, does he got it? Does he got it?
And he was telling me out there. He's like, apparently we should not have expected it. He said that if we had brought Jango, we would have skipped the turn.
We would have won.
We would have smoked the turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so too.
But he said that
feel like we did
people
fine.
here are
Yeah,
the people here are extreme. Like the community itself is very casual.
Yeah.
Like more casual than ours.
Impressive. Didn't know that was possible.
Like obviously we see it now. But,
This was fucking fun.
I don't know if it's not. It could be worse.
I need a better turn 2 play. This is not it. Actually, I should probably go to the fucking sideboard. What do I have on my sideboard?
I don't know, the same things you had when you sideboarded
I don't know.
earlier.
You already drew the cards.
I know, I can't go to it. I should put this in. I should put these in. And I fucked up, because I thought I did put them in the first matchup.
I'm curious what it is now. Tell me later.
Yeah, he says that apparently this whole place is super casual, so like we could have ran like the sweaty deck and won everything and just called it a day.
I mean, we ran sweaty decks, but there were sweaty decks.
I mean, I think I ran Sweat Elite.
Oh, fuck me, man. Yeah, that's fucking this guy, though.
Alright, I'll take it.
I'll pass.
He's not a village. Yeah, that guy was really cool. He was very nice.
Yeah,
Which one?
both of them. The Fiat guy, and I felt that for his son. 'Cause I made him cry.
He was really nice.
That guy took it very well, despite me literally racing down his health by turn 6, which is not something that my deck is that my playstyle and deck is consistent.
Yeah.
It was specifically because I played Lurking Type Random into Boba Fett or Boba Fett Pilot and just ran. Like, is that how I should just play the game now? I should just try and play 17 copies of Lurking Type Phantom and then say it's a vulture,
Yeah.
and then try to get away with it, and then just waylay everything away that deal with it.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm saying I think that's how I should build my deck. I should just play my Cad Bane deck without the Underworld Cycle.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know they wanted to where.
Nah, the Underworld Cycle is the legs that do that.
I've just never seen one fill up a so.
Is it Phil?
We can arrange it that way.
Alright.
This is upsetting as fuck.
What's that? Oh, okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I fuck with it. I fuck with it heavy.
I need this guy back in my hand. Can I take him back for next turn?
No.
Yeah.
Great outfit.
Yeah, good set for.
Man.
Get the fuck out of here, you're a DJ. That's what I'm saying. Like, DJ is, like, you're able to play around it. I mean, I don't know if you work at a DJ. Because you don't have DJ in there. But I'm saying, like,
I do. I have
one? Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, yeah. Yeah, I figured that was coming. The beam.
Being
Assuming, like,
Rid of it.
assuming that not all of them can make up, you know.
Where were you a second ago, you fuck? Yeah, here, watch this.
I'm just glad that we all.
Fucking ramped me.
I'm just glad we all have
Had a good
showcases
time.
now.
Yeah, we're all cool now. Is what you're saying?
I can
Showcase
drip.
boys!
Showcase boy. Yo, that's our channel. That's our channel.
Showcase boys!
Lake Country Showcase.
Hold on. Is that smart?
That's a good name, right?
Alright, go ahead.
We call ourselves LCS. I'm fucking with it.
So he's upstage on low stage, so.
I've already said that twice now. But
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
crazy,
stop saying
dude.
that.
You're
It's gonna be
like a child, dude.
Don't you.
I'm not saying you're a Pokemon
Hey, I'm a
kid.
child.
Pokey
That's
boys.
No, because that sounds exactly like something, and then I just realized I was like, man, I can't go away with it.
Yeah, so hopefully.
Let's go ahead and go 3 to base.
Big mistake, Bucko.
Was it?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't have any experience, like,
But I'm in your head.
Are you?
Am I?
No. 3 to base.
I'm probably shaking the table.
I don't have fun stuff.
It's poor content.
But I have to go ahead and hit here. I'll deal 1 overwhelm. I'll also die and discard a card from your hand. Wait, how many resources do you have?
Huh? One.
One? No, I was gonna do. I thought you had resources open. I would have done 3 to base.
I mean, I have one open.
Yeah, I'll do 3 to base.
Okay. After I showed you the
I didn't
card.
look at, no, so I was like,
Dickweed.
that's not fair. I was literally like,
I'll do this.
Okay.
You could play a lady.
Yeah, so 3 to base. Prop up K2. So 1 plus. Yeah.
I don't know if I did the right amount.
Do you have any cards?
I might have done the right amount. I have one. Yeah.
Play Greedo!
I have to take initiative.
Edge for 4. Oh, and I have to do the thing for him. So there we go.
Alright, I'll stop.
I forgot that freaking ECL killed Sabine for no reason that turn.
What?
Not ECL, the 5 costed. 3 base.
Shit. Go before!
Oh, hold on, I gotta do the thing.
3 to base. That's all 3. The 3 arrows.
Oh, I wonder what's in your hand.
Yeah. Is it gone?
What's that?
So you're gonna.
I hit you for 4.
I'll try it again. 4.
Yeah, it kills me.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have added extra damage at some point, but I wasn't sure if I did or not, so I just kind of...
I mean, like, if you. Well, I think you might have added the extra 1, but I will ping you to kill you here.
I think it was like 3 is what I was saying.
Oh, then
one
you
is
take-
one is
man was
irrelevant.
paying-
No, it's fine.
Man was praying for 2 timelies and 2 dark sabers come up the top of the deck.
I wasn't praying for anything. That card's... there's nothing I can do about that fucking card. This was a rough hand. I probably should have mulled.
You did mull. In game 3.
Or did I mull?
You did
Oh,
mull.
I did mull.
You
Oh, then
mulled- yeah, you mulled.
my mull also sucked. So... Game, game 1 I should have mulled. There was a game that I
You
did
did
mull
mull.
that I should have.
We
Did
both
I mull
mulled
every game?
You mulled every game, so did I.
Oh, then I don't know. Yeah, my hand just sucked.
I don't know.
I didn't think I did it every time, but...
We both mulled every game. And I was trying to get a better turn 2 play.
So what are you, one of you guys playing this helmet or something?
No, he's giving it away on his channel.
I don't want it.
I wouldn't want it either.
Who the fuck were all my 7
Yeah, I
drops?
don't want anything either. That's why I was looking at my hand.
So I should have put the Chewbacca's in my deck.
Wasn't sure. I would have what's up.
Should have put Chewbacca in. I should have sided in some Chewbacca's.
I don't know that would have helped you.
Wait, so you
It would have been fine, like,
Like, do you mean you were gonna put him on your fucking dude?
if I...
Because on the ground he would have gotten cooked.
No, yeah, on the ground he's getting cooked. If I can get it on a space
On a
unit.
ship, yeah.
Yeah, early game, but
Well,
I'm
I had-
afraid turn 1 Falcon. Like, I can't put
Yeah,
space
well,
unit in.
you shouldn't have, because I also was holding, like, Han Pilot. Like, almost every game.
How'd it go?
So, he got a 2-1.
2-1. Sabine, still getting there.
Yeah, for a cause, baby.
Yeah, so I didn't have 4 calls in my
Gold
deck
classic.
until this morning.
Until this morning.
Yeah, I put it back in.
Did Ryan talk you into it?
No, I talked myself into it. My team's been talking me out of trying to get me to not play it, but I can't not.
Initiatives do.
Dude, it's a
Initiative victory.
It gets the reach
Every
against
game.
decks. Like, against decks
turns
like this
out
and
throw cheese and
Cad
tomato
Bane.
soup is not a terrible.
You were, yeah, if you didn't have that,
Four o'clock,
you
I
were
lose.
fucking dust, yeah, because I had home 1 ready to...
Exactly, no, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
for sure. It is absolutely 100% a play this card.
So the issue that I'm having right now is trying to convince my team that, like, they're trying to get me to play Quinlan. They're trying to get me to not play 4 calls.
I mean, I don't know that I play 4 calls in Quinlan every time.
Ryan, thank you so much for coming out. Well,
Thank
as
you, sir.
always, thank you, Sean, also for being a part of it, man.
Yeah, of course.
Tell your dad, Anthony, the 3D printers, man, we just cannot thank him enough for.
Yeah,
everything
he's
you guys
obsessed
did.
with those.
The tokens came out beautiful. The base protectors, which you guys are both getting one of those. Did you already get a golden base protector?
I have not. No, I can't.
I was going to ask you,
Okay.
did you need
Cool.
money for
Yeah,
If you had another one, I was going to ask you for that one. But
yeah.
'cause I haven't got one. Obviously, I'm not good enough.
How does 10 sound?
But there you
I
go,
also,
sir.
I also gave 10. Thank you. I also gave 10 for gas.
There you go, guy.
Yeah, because we were both getting 90. I gave
You
him
were
100.
taking that.
Yeah, sure, yeah. The Matt,
The Matt, he needs the Matt.
And
Champion.
yeah.
Do I get Grogu?
Would you like it?
My wife might use it for her coffee.
My guy, please.
Heck yeah.
It was. I'm my honor.
I was expecting Jango so hard today.
So,
but
yeah, I was expecting more Jangos as well.
crazy.
Still
We
one of
had-
these left over.
Do you want it? Take it.
Heck
Sure.
yeah, I didn't get to get this one.
You got it. I'm glad. It's my pleasure to give it to you.
Yeah, I got. Thanks so much.
We are going to try to figure out a way to get the less competitive players to realize that we're giving out
Twin Sons!
to everyone.
Yeah, we should do some
Twin
Twin
Sons.
Sons. We're trying to get Twin
we
Sons.
might need to do some
Literally do a
Twin Sons.
casual Twin Sons event. Just pops.
We just got to try to figure out a way to get them to realize that, yo, we're not just competitive players. We're trying to give out to everybody. Because right there, and I'm thinking like after the sector, like next, second half of the year, I have got this sweet set of Christmas ornaments
Christmas.
to give out.
Christmas!
So,
A little housewarming present for you, bud? Yeah.
you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, for Christmas.
That would be dope. And if we don't do one, if we get enough planetary qualifiers, we don't need a Hyperdrive series to fill up the gap, which is my hope,
Yeah.
that there's no need for this kind of stuff. Then, yeah.
I mean, it's still nice to do, it's still nice to do like area tournaments.
Yeah. And,
PQs are better, I guess, obviously, but,
I'm talking to some guys in the Columbia area. I know it's a much further hike for you guys, but if we can,
It's like 2.5 hours.
it's just enough to where they feel like they don't want to come to y'all, and I don't feel that there's much of a want to go there.
So the issue that we
as
have
long
is
as
a lot
you
of
don't end up
Sunday
having to
players
drive
have to
home.
come in at 7. Like they come in at 7. It's like late. They all work. And it's
Yeah.
super hard to get them to come in like during the day. That's my issue. That's
Like
all.
right now, we're done at 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's good to be done by 5, but the issue is that they're still working at 5.
Yeah.
Because we tried to move to Sunday to accommodate,
Yeah.
and then that
We
backfired.
play on Sundays, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
It was
still,
too early.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it sucks.
Yeah, it's,
And Saturday's a tough one because you guys are all your player base is working on Saturdays.
Yeah, our player base is
tough, man. It
weird.
sucks.
I mean, listen, if they weren't out there making toys for the children,
Hey, you got your job.
I'm too big to be an elf.
Your job is the most important thing that you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. That was like 30 minutes total for 3 games. I mean, that is how 2 really good players do it. Fast, quick, competitive on their plays. There's a little bit of discussion about how many points should have been on Ryan's base, but they were playing so quick, I couldn't even tell you after watching the matches if they had it right. But really quick plays, knowing their lines, and that's how quick Star Wars can be played. It's really, really a fast-paced game. So, Ryan, William, thank you so much for showing us how well to play the game. And again, William, congratulations on getting that first place. Ryan, congratulations on second place at our finale for the Hyperdrive. So, with that said, I do want to talk a little bit about the big boogeyman that is in the room, and that is going to be our the Jango threat, and that is coming from the sector qualifier in Milan. And as you can see on the board, we had 7 out of the top 8 were Jango Fett. And this put everybody in a tizzy. Immediately, content developers were like, FFG's got to do something. We have to ban Jango. We've got to do something right now and stop this. But I want to point out something about these sectors. They are designed, by the way they do their prize support, to encourage players to step outside of the meta with their leaders to try to win a showcase if they place in the top 64 players with their leader in the highest place with their leader to get a showcase. So I was looking at a meta wheel that was put out by Thork, and Jango Fett was 25% of the meta. To be expected. lots of space units. Devastator was like the it card out of the set 4. Everybody was all hyped about it. Triple Dark Raid, you could see that its price spiked like 100%. Went from being like a $2 card to like a $20 card. Now it's back down to about $15 because everybody's worried about the ban now. And I think when you look at it, the rest of the field behind that, like Han Solo went from like being 40% representative of the meta to like being like 9%. And then Sabine went from being, somewhere in like the 13 to 15% of the meta down to like, I think it was like 5 to 7%. And Quinlan dropping down to, into the single digits, and Cad Bane into the single digits, and so forth. So you had this pretty big jump in Jango being 25% of the meta. But then a whole nother 25% of the meta was all these outside of the meta decks. So you get this deck like Jango Fett that is really consistent because of a card like Triple Dark Raid. And it has really strong cards that have come out of set 4. With the War Juggernaut being able to ping everything and lock everything down, coming into a bunch of damage, and Devastator, and then the sneak attack coming in right behind that to do big chunks of damage. Is very consistent, and it did really well in a field full of players that were building decks that were designed to try to get their leader into the top 64 and possibly be the highest player to get a showcase card. Okay. Plus, it was the largest ever event for Star Wars Unlimited. Now, when you think about that, the largest event ever. So, if let's say our events have been averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of like, high 90s to, 120 to 150 as a top end. And that's kind of like where your competitive players are, on average. And then you have this event that pops up with 546 players. That means, in my mind, that there was a significant amount of casual players that were coming to this event. Not only was it an opportunity to get into the Worlds, but it was that opportunity that if you played a leader that was outside of the norm and you got in that top 64, especially a Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader, which a Luke Skywalker did make it into, I believe, was the top 32, which was really impressive, by the way. There is now a Luke Skywalker showcase card in circulation now. There's never been one of those before. And when you think about that, that was a prime just environment set up for a deck like Jango to just gobble up these players that were more casual, and also these players that were trying to engineer a new type of deck to try to get that showcase card with a different type of leader. Okay? And when it got to day 2, and you kind of weeded out all those other decks, Jango all of a sudden was like 2/3 of day 2. There were so many times when it would sit down, it would be a Jango versus Jango, and only a Jango deck could come out. And I think when you got to the top 16, it was like 3 Quinlan Vosses and 1 Piet, and then the rest were Jangos. I believe I'm right about that. I might be a little off on those numbers. But that tournament and the way that the sectors are set up to kind of encourage players to come outside the box, outside the meta, it reduced the numbers or reduced the percentages of the Sabines and the Han Solos and your Cad Banes and your Quinlans and their representation in the field. But for some, but Jango having the Devastator and the War Juggernaut and all these really cool, vehicles, it just, players gravitated towards that, and it was the highest represented deck in the field. And then it had the highest conversion rate because of the type of field that it was in. It was in a a field of more casual players, and it was in a field of players that were trying to get leaders that were not typically in the meta to work so they could get into the top 64 and get a showcase. All right? So you put those two things together and you end up with the type of results that we have with this top 8. That's my theory. All right? Then we shift gears to an event like the one we see here, the Bothan Invitational, all right, out of Atlanta, hosted by Cards Headquarters, all right, or Cards HQ. This one is the one that William Hannon made top 8 with his Sabine list, all right. And when I look at the Sabine list, and we go to his list, and we take a look at his record, you'll see he played Jango Fett 2-0. He played Jango Fett in the 7th round 2-1. He went up against Jango Fett. He went up against a Jango Fett that was in the final round and beat that Jango Fett with Sabine. So it is a deck that can be beat. All right. He had to take on 2 Jango Fetts to get there. He had to take on 2 Cad Banes to get there. He had to knock out a Boba Fett to get there. And he had to take out a control deck in Bosk. Now, again, right now, I don't think that control is quite ready to step into the meta because it doesn't know yet what it has to be ready for. And new metas are notorious for having having aggressive decks and decks with really strong aggressive plans, you know, where they have a linear play, they know exactly what they're doing, and they go in and they knock it out, and they, you know, do a bunch of damage to get the game over really fast. Those decks do really well in the early weeks of a meta. All right, we're only 1 weekend really into this meta. Okay, I guess you can say the second weekend. Then, after those results come in, and the players can start seeing what's out there and what's doing well, then the control decks start knowing what they can play and what they can get away with. All right, and we start seeing the control players coming in and they start doing better. All right, you might even see a totally different control deck than we've ever seen. Maybe Bosk isn't the control leader that people go with. Okay, I still think Bosk is a great control leader. The ability to collect double bounties is just extremely strong. But you can see with Williams' record and how he did, that Jango Fett did not do well against him. Now, I don't know how how his top 8 went and who he got matched up with in the top 8, but his list did very well. And he did not make a whole lot of changes to the deck. There is one card I see that he moved into his main deck in the Daring Raid. He did come down on his Heroic Sacrifice to make some room for it. He kept his records and his Sundari Peacekeepers. The Sundari Peacekeepers is a great card. It gives him that little bit of life he needs. He squeezed in 2 R2-D2s that were not in the Hyperdrive deck that we just showed you a moment ago. And, but other than that, the deck list stays pretty consistent with it. All right. But he did make a couple of changes in those Daring Raids so that he can knock out some of those smaller units that Jango Fett likes to put out. When I talked to him, he said he made these changes specifically so he could be better prepared for the Jango matchup. All right. And it paid off. He did really well. So I think when we look at this set of top 8s, we're looking at a much better representation of what we can expect our meta to be evolving to. You know, we've got some Jangos. They're in there. He's a great deck. We've got Quinlan. It's a strong leader. We've got Cad Bane. He is strong. I mean, this event had a Cad Bane versus Cad Bane finals. All right. I can show you another one that had a Jango Fett versus Jango Fett finals. You know, it's there. It has Sabine still represented in the top 8. You know, thanks to our boy William. It's the threat of Jango may not be as crazy as everybody's fervor was initially when they saw the 7 out of 8 from the sector qualifier. And I believe that that is because of the way the sector qualifiers, top 64, you get a showcase, kind of, affected the turnout. And we had 546 players. So anyway, that's my quick thoughts on that. If you agree with me, cool. If you don't, throw something down in the comments. We are definitely down for hearing from everybody. We do want to get your opinions on, is Jango a leader that just has to be banned? I mean, do we have to put him on the sideline with the other Fett? Him and Boba just got to chill. I don't think that's the case. I do think that there are some cards in cunning, because if you notice, there's a lot of cunning in all these top 8s that we might need to take a look at. Okay? Now, with that said, you start taking those cunning cards out, and you open the door for other decks to just dominate too. You don't know what happens when you open that Pandora's box. You might just find that, if you take these cunning cards out, well, then Sabine just completely dominates again. And we don't want to do that, right? So I think we might want to, kind of sit back, think of this more scientifically and let the data kind of roll in over the next couple of weeks. Don't make any drastic moves and see how this plays out. But with that said, I think at the end of April at the sector qualifier, we're going to see something very similar. It may not be Jango that is 25% of the meta, but we might see that because of the way, players are incentivized to step outside of the meta and try different leaders, that we might have a kind of skewed top 8 where one deck is just like day 2s and like these really kind of lopsided numbers, and therefore there's just a whole bunch of them, and they end up with a bunch of them in the top 8, just because there's just so many of them in day 2. All right, I don't know if it's going to be Sabine. I don't know if it's going to be Piet. I don't know if it's going to be Jango. Looks like Jango has at least a really good shot at being that deck. But with that said, I do think that Jango is not like this crazy monster that we all have to worry about, and it has to be put on the suspension list. But then again, who knows? A couple weeks, I might be eating my words on that. But if you agree with me, put some comments down there. If you disagree with me, also, let's have a conversation about Jango. I'm a wide open book. I share my thoughts. I want you to share your thoughts. And that's what the comment section's for. Also, right above that comment section, please punch that like button. And then right next to that like button, there's that subscribe button. If you haven't already hit that, just go ahead and hit that one more time for us. And please share, with your friends, that kind of thing. We are slowly but surely creeping up to 100. We are going to be doing something soon here to celebrate the 50 subscriber landmark. We're going to be announcing it right after the April 25th, 26th sector. We're going to do for that. If we should happen to hit the 100 subscriber landmark also, we're going to do a double up and do 2 different giveaways, but there's going to be some giveaways that we're going to do on the channel, so be looking out for that. And if you made it to this point and you are still with me, then you got the first word on the fact that we're going to be giving away some things to you guys for being a part of what we're doing. And remember, none of this happens without you. So I want to thank all of you, and whether it's day or night, have a good one, and may the force be with you.